Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Bound Journals. Welcome back to my channel. I have a process video here for you, and I'm showing you a start to finish process of how I make a collage masterboard. And so I've tried to edit this down as much as possible. In real time it took me about 40 minutes, and so I've tried to edit this by taking out all of the sections where I'm trying to find a piece, but I did want to keep in the places where I was umming and ahhing over where to put something, because I think we can all relate to that, or a lot of us can relate to not knowing where to put a piece. And I'm not immune to that, so I would never want to make anyone think that when I do a collage it just comes really, really quickly and easily, and as soon as I pick up a piece I know exactly where it goes. No. I take time agonizing over, should this go here or should it go over there? Do I cover this? Do I underlap it here? Do I overlap it there? And I can spend ridiculous amounts of time just going back and forth between two places even. So you're not alone. I do it too. So you'll see that through this process. This is going to be a very chatty video because it's still, even with the editing, it's still quite long. But I hope you can just enjoy seeing it come together, and enjoy wherever my thoughts take me. Maybe you want to craft along with me. Let me know in the comments if you're crafting along and what you're making, or if you're just, grabbing a cup of coffee and sitting down to relax at the end of the day, or waking up in the morning with a video, or the last thing you watch before you go to bed at night. I often save videos for that when I'm having my meals or just before I go to bed. It helps me to unwind. So for this collage masterboard, I tried something a bit different. Usually I grab all of my little pieces of scraps and build up the collage that way. But in this one, I tried using some larger pieces and just getting a background done straight away. And I guess cutting up that background would make some great tags just like that as well, but no, I wanted to make this a bit more detailed and build it up and add some layers and just have fun collaging this. I'm not sure which method I prefer, whether I prefer building up with little scraps or working with a large kind of background first. Pros and cons. When you're working with little scraps, it feels like it's a bit more tedious because it takes a bit longer to fill up the space. But I find that when you have the background laid down, the pro is, yes, it's nice and covered and it's done, and now it's just a matter of adding to it. The con is, for me anyway, it makes it a little bit more difficult to figure out where to place things, because when you've already got something on the page, now I'm worried about covering stuff up and wondering, where do I cover it? Do I cover it here or do I cover it there? When you're working with little scraps, you haven't got anything laid down already, and so you're not worried about covering something up. So just something to think about. I think I will have to try both methods a bit more though before I can figure out which one I prefer. Basically, for this one I'm using vintage French ephemera, so documents and scraps. I'm really enjoying using my scraps to make collages, so it's a really great way to use them up, one, and also just a fun thing to do. I've taken to sometimes at the end of the day or the night, when I'm not sure what to do, and it's too late to start a really big project or something, and I've just got 1 hour before bed or something, I'll often take to doing a collage masterboard, just pulling out my scraps and in an hour making a collage masterboard. So that's been quite fun. A good way to relax and unwind at the end of the day, or a good way just to fill up a spare hour that you might find when you're bored and thinking, what do I do? And you can't be bothered working on a big project. This is just a nice kind of self-contained, relatively quick project you can do and actually finish in an hour. So So yeah, I've used a manila folder. I just cut the manila folder in half, and that's what I'm using as my base. I have a Bostik glue stick that I'm using to lay everything down. At the end, when I do cut this up into tags, I will go around the edges with my sewing machine. I'll ink the edges with Distress ink, Vintage Photo, or Walnut Stain, and yeah, so around the edges. So yeah, with this particular masterboard, like sometimes I will make journal cards or I'll make journal covers with a masterboard. But for this particular one, I went into it knowing that I would make tags out of it. So all that means is as I built up the layers and was coming to finish this board, I was thinking about those tags. So I know that some people say that when you make a collage masterboard, it's supposed to be just completely random and fun and you're not thinking about what you're doing. And even I've heard some people, when they make the tags, they will flip the board over, and so they'll cut out the tags on the other side so that when they turn the tags over, it's a complete surprise what they get. So that sounds really fun, but so far for me, I'm too much very structured and a planner, and so I tend to cut out my tags on the front, like draw my lines on the front so I can see what my tags are going to look like. And so as I'm putting this collage together, that's what I've always got in the back of my mind. I'm thinking about, what would look like a good tag? And I'm thinking about making sure there's enough interest on each section of the board that when I make my cuts for the tag, that the tag will look finished. So that's another thing. I know another idea with the masterboard is that it's just a base. And so that's another reason why you don't have to think about it too much and it can just be completely random, because it's just a base, and then after you've made the board, then you finish it off with your die cuts and your stamping and your stenciling and stickers and all that kind of stuff. I might try that in the future, but for now, what I'm doing here is I'm making the collage masterboard my finished piece. So I want it to be polished and looking good, I suppose, as is, because I know I'm not going to be adding anything to it. I don't want to cover anything up. I want to see all of these layers. I want to see all the different fonts and text and color tones of the papers. And so, yeah, as I build it up layer by layer and get towards the end, I do end up, really thinking about, will this tag look good, basically? And so it is a bit of a loose idea in my head of where the tags are going to go. And just making sure each area has enough, interest and layers and different elements to it so that it does look finished. And therefore, I will use those smaller pieces towards the end, kind of like, I don't know, feature pieces or my decorative elements to the tag. So just what's working for me at the moment. Okay, now I'm like, what else do I say? I've had something on my heart to share, I suppose. Maybe I'll share it now. I just want to share that in the art of creating and the process of creating, just have fun with it, just enjoy it. I don't know, I feel hurt whenever I hear of people feeling they're hurt, that they're not sure how to create, or that they've been told this is the way to create, or this is the way to do it, or this is what you have to use when you create. And I reckon just do what you love. There is no right or wrong way, and especially in the junk journal world, where we're known for saying that, I think, that there's no rules in the junk journal world, and that you just do what you love. Just absolutely do what you love, and if it makes you happy, then it doesn't matter if it doesn't line up with other people's way of creating. If you like a certain image, put that image down. If you like collaging a certain way, collage that certain way. If you like using books, use books. If you like using new items, use new items. If you like using old items, use old items. You don't have to use vintage. You never ever have to use vintage. You never have to just use scraps. And you don't even have to use books if you just can't bring yourself to cut up books. Really no right or wrong way. Just have fun creating, and just I get really like I said, hurt. I don't ever want to see anyone attacked or judged for the way that they create. Especially with creating, right? I get comments from people just saying how they judge themselves, or they've been judged by their artwork, and they're too scared to share their creations because they're afraid of judgment. They're afraid of what people are going to say. And even those who aren't afraid of what other people will say, some of you have mentioned things like, oh, I don't think my work is good enough. And I don't know, that hurts me because your work is good enough. And if anyone, or if you are robbing yourself of the joy of creating, I find that really, really sad, because I want you just to feel the full joy and love of creating, and just enjoy the process however you do it, whatever your style is, whatever your personality is, and whatever materials you love to work with, however you love to create, whatever you love to create, it's beautiful, it's all good, and there's no need to compare. There is no comparison, because you're creating what you want to create, and that's beautiful. That's just so beautiful. And it's good. It's good. And it's more than enough if you're creating and you've had joy from it and you loved it, and you poured your heart and your soul into it. And it just, I don't know, I've been a lifelong creator. My whole life I've created ever since I was a kid. And it's only ever been for me a joyful thing. And so I only ever hope that it's a joyful thing for other people, and that you just love doing it how you want to do it, and that you just get great joy not only from the process but from whatever you create to the finished piece as well. And share it with pride. Not everyone's going to like it. That's okay. It's all good. We all like different things, and that's okay, but as long as you like it, that's all that matters. So share it with pride, share it with joy, share it with love. And I guess a message from me to you, if anyone has ever brought you down about what you've created, or the way you've created, I don't know, let me encourage you, just go for it. Just create to your heart's content, doing it your way, and enjoy it and love it, and don't worry about comparing or people's opinions of it. As just whatever you're getting out of it, that's the value of it, and your joy in it is worth so much, and I never want anyone to be robbed of that. So well, that was a bit random, so I hope that was helpful though. And yeah, just have fun and enjoy it. I can't believe how many times I'm saying it, but it's just very important to me, and I guess I just keep saying things and repeat things that I think are important. Let's get back to this masterboard. It is coming along, and I'm just trimming around the edges, and there we go. That was a bit of a hard cut. So I think I'm getting towards the end. The thing with the voiceover is that it doesn't tell me when the video comes to the end. That's why I often it will go to black screen and it catches me out because I'm right in the middle of a sentence or I'm right in the middle of sharing a thought or a story. I'm like, oh no, and it goes to black screen. So yeah, it doesn't give me like a time warning or anything when it's going to end. So I'm trying to pay attention and just see. I filmed this quite a long time ago. I've had this sitting, I don't know, on my phone for a while, and it's just been, like I said, this took a lot of editing to get this down to under 20 minutes, and then I just couldn't bring myself to do the voiceover after that work. And so finally made the time to do the voiceover now, but because it's been so long, I've kind of forgotten basically what I did and when this video ends. And just when I think, oh yeah, now it looks good and now it looks finished, I'll always add another piece. I have that thing where I just can't stop. I always think, yeah, if you're anything like me, 10 times you think, okay, now it's done. And then you add more. So yeah, after like the 20th time, now it's done. Okay, so I don't know if you want to share any tips in the comments for collaging or creating or sharing your own process or your own encouragement for others about just finding joy in creating and not getting down about comparing work to others or just dealing with those attacks or judgments that we can feel sometimes about our creative work. Because maybe you have some of your own stories to share and your own wisdom. But yeah, like I said, ever since I was a kid, for me, it's always just been pure joy. And I've just loved what I've created. And yeah, I've always been one of those people who I know what I like and I know what I don't like. And I've always been very strong on that. So when I create something I like, I'm all in. I like it. Doesn't matter what anyone says about it. I like it. And I hope you do too. So thank you so much for watching. Now it's ended. And I'll see you in the next video where I do, not in the next video maybe, but in an upcoming video, I show you the next process where I turn this into tags. So stay tuned for that and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.